New here. Hey girlies! So today's video is going to probably be a very long story. I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible, but honestly, last Friday was one of the creepiest situations that I've ever been in my entire fucking life, and I hate that I was in the car by myself when this happened. Like, conveniently it happened after Zach got out of the Uber, so like, I'm just gonna share with you guys what happened. This man has already been reported, so like, don't worry about it, like, everything is gonna be fine. But I'm gonna share with you guys what happened last Friday when me and Zach tried to be grown and go out and club hop and bar hop, and everything just started going wrong from the beginning of the night, and it got even worse at the end of the night. So I feel like I'm out of breath right now. I don't know why. Like, I'm out of breath for no reason. I have not done anything. Like, I wasn't running up my stairs. All I did was fucking sit down, and that took all my energy. I'm gonna just jump straight into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope this brings somebody some sort of entertainment, but I also hope that this like helps people realize that like you need to be careful when you get in Ubers, when you get in taxis, when you get in Lyfts, because at the end of the day, these are strangers. These are not people that you know. These are not your friends. Yes, these are people just doing their job, but people are human and they snap, and people are fucking weird sometimes. And even though they do background checks, I'm pretty sure, on these Ubers, like, this person might not be a criminal, they might be an outstanding citizen, but at the end of the day, some people are fucking weird, and you just need to be careful because, like I said, this guy seemed so normal for like 35 minutes of the drive, and everything just started getting like fucking weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the story. Thank you guys for coming to my channel, and if you enjoy the story or you want to see more videos, make sure you check them out after this one. The story all starts with last week at the beginning of the week. Zach texted me on like Monday or Tuesday when he's like, hey girl, do you want to go out on Friday? Now, I'm the kind of person that always says no, and I wish I would have said no so I could have avoided this situation altogether, but I'm the kind of person that says no just because, I don't know, I'm not really a clubbing or like bar hopping type of person. Like, I'm not really a drinker, and I genuinely get annoyed by intoxicated people, like especially when I can tell, because like you may think that people can't tell that you're drunk, but honey, we can tell that you're drunk. Like, your eyes are a certain way, they look glossy, they're hanging lower than usual, you're not walking straight, like you're like, you can smell it on people's breath. So like, I don't like to put myself in those situations, especially if I'm not gonna like be drinking or anything, and I'm just gonna be like sitting there like trying to have a good time with my friends, and then somebody's gonna come up to me like, hey. Every time I go to clubs, I have a bad experience. Like, it's always like men trying to like grab on me and stuff, and it just makes me uncomfortable because, like I said, I'm not getting drunk, so like I'm completely aware of everything that's going on around me. And like, I even see, like, there was one time where I was dancing, and it was like 3 or 4 people like in front of me, my friends or whatever, we're like dancing, and like I saw someone like from the corner of my eye just like staring at me and like slowly walking up to me, and I was like, no, 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 no. And what do? They grab me by my waist, and they start to try to grind on me. Like, I don't understand how much liquid courage can be given just by like a drink. Like, I don't get how people could like suddenly think it's okay to like grab people and all that, but whatever, I'm like blabbering. So I guess you can see like why I don't like to go to clubs in the first place, because it makes me uncomfortable. So I always say no to him, but this time I was like, you know what, fine, fuck it, like, let's go. So now we're like here on Friday. We went to the mall, we went to Yard House to eat, which, you guys, I had the most delicious fucking jambalaya of my life. And then after that, we went back to his house, and we were watching Dynasty and just like touching up our makeup, getting ready. I was just gonna wear what I had on earlier, because honestly, I wasn't trying to like do the most. So we're getting ready, and finally around like 10:30, 11, we decided to call the Uber. I actually called the Uber to take us there, and then he was gonna call us the Uber to get back, because for some reason like our Uber app was not letting us split the fare. So we end up getting in the Uber, we go down to Tempe, and we went to Mill Avenue, which is where like all of the like little bars and like clubs and stuff are at. And he actually invited his other friend, we're gonna call her V because her name starts with a V as well. So we invited V over, and she was gonna meet us there, and she said she was 5 minutes out, and it was like 10 minutes later. So I was like, where's she at though? And he's like, you know what, she's not here yet, but let's go ahead and just go inside of one of these random clubs. And as quick as the night started, it ended just as fast. We go up there, I show my ID, and obviously I'm 21 years old. Zach is not 21 yet, so he has a fake ID that's been working at every other place. And he finally goes up to Costa, which was the club that we went to. And the second he hands them the ID, they look at it, look at him, and he's like, this shit's fake, bro. I'm gonna go get a police officer so we can sort this out. And Zach fucking dashes down the street like fucking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, pulling Santa's sled. He took off. He was like, I'm gonna be over there. And I'm just standing there like, what just happened? And then as I'm like trying to process what just happened, I hear someone call my name, and I turn to my left, and oh my gosh, you guys, I've been blessed by the gods. So 2 years years ago, we're gonna do a little side story. 2 years ago, I was in LA with like Denzel, Michael Reese, Ryan Valentine, Maggie, Ricky, like all these people, like James, like all these people that I was like friends with at the time. We were walking outside of American Apparel because we used to all just get in a big group and just like go shopping and stuff. And we're walking outside of American Apparel, and this fine-ass light-skinned guy, like fine-ass light-skinned boy with beautiful green, hazel, yellow, golden eyes walks past me. We make eye contact, and I was just like, oh my god. I'm just walking out the store, and I was like, you guys, did you just fucking see that? And everyone was like, oh my god. Like, everyone's like jumping around being fucking immature as shit. Right? So we were just like, doing the fucking most, like, he was so fine. And then the second that we're over here, like, doing the most, we hear, hey, hold up. And we instantly went, huh? Guys started calling me over, and I was like, wait, me? Like, are you talking about one of my friends over here, like Alicia? No, he was talking to me, so I was like, yes, can I help you? And he's like, let me get your number. You're super pretty. I would love to take you out sometime. And I was like, I feel blessed, yes. I ended up getting his contact information, and we just like texted a few times. We never actually went out. And here we are 2 years later. I'm like standing there outside of this random ass club I've never been to, and he's right there, and he's like, Vanessa? And I was like, what? So it was just like super, super freaking random. So I am like talking to him for a little bit, and then I see Zach standing on the other side of the road just like. So I ran over to go and join him. I told the guy bye. I was like, peace out, talk to you later, text me or whatever. And I'm standing there with Zach, and his friend walks up, and she's like, hey girl, nice to meet you. What happened? And I was like, so he just got his ID taken away by that guy over there. It was like this bald guy with a big beard standing on the side of the road. And the guy was just like standing there looking around. So I don't know if the guy was looking for Zach or whatever, but V was like, you could try to bribe him and try to get it back, but it's probably not going to work. And there was also so many police around, you guys. So I'm pretty sure if Zach tried to go and get his ID back, he probably would have been told no, or the guy would have gotten the police or something involved. So we ended up deciding that the night is basically ruined. Thanks a lot, Zach. I don't even like care, honestly, because like 50% of me was like, we gonna party, gonna get lit. But the other 50% of me was like, I wanna go home. I wanna go in my fucking bed. I love my bed. I love my Xbox. I love my PlayStation. I'd rather be with them right now. And that's why I have no friends and I'm so antisocial, because I lock myself away with video games. So Zach ends up calling the Uber because he's like, you know what, I'll just call it so we could like go back to my house, we can get your stuff and we can either hang out or you can go home or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll just go to your house, get my things, and I'm gonna go home. Because I have this friend that I actually made like 3 weeks ago, and we always play video games and we always just like hang out and stuff. So I was like, I'd rather go in and play video games. So I ended up saying bye to V. She was such a cute girl, like such a cute girl. And he calls the Uber pulls up. It was a Nissan Altima, I believe. We get inside, and this is when everything starts getting fucking weird. So thank you for listening to me just like blabber for like 10 minutes. So this is when everything starts getting really freaking weird. We get inside of the car, and the first thing the guy says is, oh, night ending very soon? That's sad. You guys wouldn't want to be in here if you knew where I just came from. Boy, what? I'm just like, what the First of all, okay, you guys, I always say this to people, and they're like, Vanessa, you're being so extra. You guys need to fucking realize Uber drivers are strangers. We don't know them. I don't know my Uber driver. I don't know these Lyft drivers. I don't know these people personally. So if the first thing you're gonna tell me when I get in the car is you're not gonna wanna be in here when you find out where I came from, that's gonna scare the shit out of me. So I'm like, sir, where did you come from? And he's like, oh, I just came from the prison. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a prisoner in the car. Like, over here like, oh my God, oh no, like we're getting kidnapped. Like this guy just escaped prison, robbed an Uber driver, took his car, and took his job. No, the guy's, I'm over here like, oh fuck, oh fuck. And the guy's like, no, I actually work there. I'm an officer there. And I'm like, oh, wait, we're still in a cop car? So I'm like, okay, let me not say anything illegal or talk about anything I shouldn't say right now so I don't go to jail. So the guy's just like telling us how he works, and he books people for like tax problems. And then he also works like where like the children have been separated from their families and just all the stuff he was just like, explaining to us. And we started talking about background checks. I'm not really sure how we got to that point, but now he's saying that like, oh yeah, if I wanted to, like if all I need is like your first name and your last name and a little more information, and I can find out everything about you. I can find out where you've ever lived, what school you went to. You can find out what kind of student you were, where your parents went to school, what kind of student they were. Just being very, very extra. And I'm like, okay, interesting, scary, thank you. He starts talking about how like the government's watching everything that you do. Like if you're on Google typing in anti-LGBTQ stuff, or if you're typing in like how to make this or how to make this weapon, the government will be notified somehow. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know the government cared that much about, like, you know, the gay community and all that stuff. And he was like, well, here's a fact for you. Like 50% of the police force, or not even 50, he said like 70% of the police force is gay. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, because you know all the police officers, right? He's like, yeah, if you look any of that stuff up, like, well, no, I take that stuff very seriously. I was like, oh, do you? And he's like, yes, I'm gay and I have a partner. And we're like, wow, that's so cool. Like, that's so nice. Like, that's like nice. I'm happy for you. Like, yeah, we had to fight for so long for our rights. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it has a lot to do with what he says later on. So now he's just telling us about how, like, he's booked all these celebrities that have gone, like, bankrupt and stuff. Because I guess, I'm not sure if this is true, but he said that for the state of Arizona, or no matter what you do in the United States, like, when it comes to taxes, like tax evasion, or you're not paying anything, or you gotta go bankrupt, you have to come to Arizona for it. Like I said, I don't know if that's even true, but that's what he said. He's like, you have to come to Arizona to get processed. So he's like, yeah, I processed this person, this person, this person. I'm not going to sit here and start naming people because that's embarrassing, and he shouldn't have even been telling us that in the first place. Because if I was, say I'm like a celebrity and I'm a millionaire and I somehow like fuck up on my taxes and I have to go to jail for like 10 hours to go fix it, I don't want the officers going and telling everybody, because like that's how word spreads around and that's embarrassing. So me and Zach are just back there like, oh wow, that's crazy, like wow, so interesting, wow. As to getting in Uber cars, I try to be as like friendly as possible, but I don't try to make like big conversation. Like I'll make small conversation, like typically when it comes, like I don't know, like I just can catch a vibe with people. So like if I get in the car and immediately they're like, hey, and I'm like, oh hey, like then I start to have a conversation. But like you started the conversation by being weird, sir. So like I said, we're just like talking or whatever, and then eventually we get to Zach's house. It was like a 35 minute drive because he didn't live in, like he doesn't live near Tempe, and I don't, oh my goodness, I live so far from Tempe. So we ended up getting to Zach's house, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like grab my stuff and call another Uber. And the guy was like, why call another Uber when you could just like reroute it and I'll take you home? Oh my gosh, I fucking wish we didn't reroute that shit. But I was like, Zach, do you mind? And he was like, yeah, sure, I ruined the night, it's fine. And I was like, thank you so much, you right. Zach ends up rerouting it to my address like right before we get to his house, so like it doesn't like mess up or anything. So he reroutes it, he runs inside to go and get my stuff. He's like, just wait in the car. He hands it to me through the door and he starts walking away, and the guy opens his fucking mouth and he says, wow, you're such a terrible friend, you're not gonna hug her goodbye? Like, first of all, sir, we're not friends, so don't get between me and Zach right now and try to like start some shit. Wow, he's not gonna hug you, like such an awful friend. First of all, old ass. I was just pissed off. I was like, why is he opening his mouth? Like I wasn't like pissed, but I was just like, stay in your place. He was probably that type in high school, where's my hug at? Like, he was probably that type. Zach ends up hugging me, and we like literally look at each other, we're like, what the fuck? Like, he goes inside. Now the guy's starting to take me home. It was like quiet for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then the guy starts talking about how he has a master's in psychology, and that he like helps all these people so much in the prison that he stepped outside of his boundaries one time to like help somebody that he wasn't supposed to, and he got involved and he intervened, which is something that officers are not supposed to do. You're not supposed to intervene and get in people's business. So he's telling me how he like showed up at someone's door and he intervened to talk to them about this stuff and blah 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 blah, and I'm just like sitting there like, bro, you're a creep. Like, this is like proving to me that you're a creep. So like I said, he was telling me about how he's like some psychologist, or now he wants to work on his doctorate to be a doctor in psychology or something, that he could read people very well. And he was like, I love to give advice, would you like me to give you some advice? And I was like, sure, go ahead. And he's like, I could read people very well. I was like, okay, then read me, go ahead, sir. And he's basically telling me that I'm like some broken and hurt person that needs to be taken care of by an older man. And that immediately was a red flag for me, and I wanted to jump out of the car. Because I was like, first of all, I don't need to be I told him, I was like, sir, I don't need to be taking care of anyone. I'm doing fine for myself. And he's like, oh, really? So what do you do for work then? And bitch, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm a social media person with this many followers and I make this amount of money. No, we're not going to fucking do that. Because like I said, stranger danger. I was just like, I do motivational speaking. And he's like, he turns and looks at me and he's like, and that pays the bills? And I was like, yeah, it's doing fine. He's like, is that what you want to do for the rest of your life? Like, and I was like, I don't know yet. Like, it doesn't matter. Like I said, he's over here telling me that I'm broken and I need to be taken care of an older man, or taken care of by an older man. He's like, have you ever been with any salt and pepper? And I was like seasonings? Like what? And he's like, no, like an older man. And I was like, why are you asking me these questions? Like why are you asking me this? Like, why does it fucking matter? And he's just like, oh, I'm just saying, like, because you could definitely be taken care of by one. And I was like, so like a sugar daddy? And he's like, well, something like that, but most people call it business transactions. And I'm like, why am I in here right now? I told him that too. I was like, why am I in this Uber right now? Like, why is this what I'm hearing? He's like, well, you're here at the right place at the right time. I would say that. And I'm just like, Ew. When I tell you guys, this guy looked like a chewed up potato. Like, it was creeping me out. Like, the way he was talking, and now he's like, he started saying the N-word and like cursing and shit. And I'm just like, bro, you're getting way too fucking comfortable with me. Like, first of all, you're like almost 70, right? Like, I get you're a free spirit, but like, you need to relax. Cause like, I don't know you, you don't know me. And you over here cursing and throwing the N-word around, like we're like homies or something, like we're not friends. He's over here like telling me how I need to get with an older man, and we pull into my neighborhood and he's like, oh, so how much do these houses cost to rent them or to live here? And I was like, why? And he's like, just tell me. So I give him a bullshit number. I was like, I don't know, like $2,000 maybe. It doesn't cost $2,000 to live here. He was like, yeah, it costs like $2,000 to live here or whatever. And he's like, oh, interesting. And what car do you drive? And I'm just like, bro, why do you want to know so fucking much? I was like, why? I told him, I was like, why are you asking so many questions, like, about my personal life? And he's like, well, I just want to know. So I pointed to a random car that was parked in the guest parking. I was like, that one. I leased that car over there. And he's like, oh, you lease? Well, I can tell that you're not very good with numbers, because you could have saved that money and bought like a Mercedes C300 for that amount of money that you're leasing it for. And I was just like, thank you. Like, okay, like, first of all, that's not my fucking car. But second of all, like, thank you so much for calling me stupid and the advice. Like, okay, thank you. And he's like, yeah, like, if you had an older man taking care of you. And he's starting again with this shit. And keep in mind, the door's fucking locked. I'm always like, whenever I get in Ubers, I'm like messing with the lock. I'm like, oh my God, I need to, like, just in case I need to, you know, tuck and roll out of a car, like, let me make sure I know. And I can't fucking unlock the door. I'm just over here, like, trying to be, like, discreet about it. Like, let me unlock this and be like, thank you, bye, and jump out of the car, but it's still moving. So the guy is like, you know what, let me talk to you for a couple of minutes. And he, like, ends the ride, goes offline on the Uber app, which I didn't know you could do that. So he goes offline on the Uber app, and he turns around and looks at me, and he's like, I have very good connections. I know the owner of Zillow or HomeSmart or some shit like that. That's my best friend for over 30 years, and I know the owner of this baseball team and the baseball team of this one, and blah blah blah. And we like to take care of people. We're always known to be at Denny's and Ocean something and the steakhouse. We're always hanging out there all the time, and girls come up to our table because they know what we're about, and blah 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there like, but aren't you gay? That makes no fucking sense. So now I'm just like looking at this guy like a fucking liar, because like, first of all, you just said you were gay like 50 minutes ago, like an hour ago. Now all of a sudden, like, you're talking about girls. And now this guy was starting to get explicit, and like this all happened within like a matter of like 2 minutes. So like, I'm so glad my friend pulled up like right as it started getting like really fucking weird. And it was so scary. Like, as the guy like left, he like literally like zoomed off. Like, I got out of the car and he like took off. Like, I never seen someone drive so fast in a residential other than myself. The guy, like, he says, oh, I could definitely get you in connection with these guys or whatever, because I can tell that you're hurt, you're broken. I'm just sitting there like creeped out, like trying to get out of the fucking car. And he's like, I could tell that you're hurt, you're broken, you need someone to take care of you. I could get somebody, or even me myself, if my friends don't want to like take you on, I will be there for you. I could pay like your rent for a whole year. I can buy you a brand new car. You don't have to worry about any of that. I'll get you on your feet. I'll get you connections. You need a job here, I got you. You need dental work, I'll send you to my best friend who's a dentist. You want to get your boobs done, I'll send you here and be like, yo, take care of her and send me the bill. So the guy's just like blah blah, like speaking really fast, saying all these things, and I'm just like, okay, sir. Thank you. Yep, sure. Thank you so much. So the guy's just like talking and talking and talking, and as the car starts pulling up, and I told him, I was like, oh, I have somebody coming to meet me, so like I can't just stay in the car forever right now. Like, you need to let me out. And he was just like talking, and then he said, oh, there's only 3 things that we expect from the girls that we mess with. And I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I'm just like trying to get out of your fucking car. And he's over here like, this is when it gets a little explicit. So like, 1, you have to be beautiful. 2, you have to have a personality. Or no, he said, first you have to be beautiful and have a personality. 2, I have to want to fuck you. And 3, he said, you can't have a hairy. And the second that he said that to me, I literally like, I went into like defense mode. I was like, okay, this guy is literally a fucking like sexual predator. I need to get out of this car right now, because if I don't get out this second, like something is gonna really bad, like something really bad is gonna happen. Because yeah, he may be an older man, but biologically, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that women are weak, because women are not weak. We are very strong people, right? But physically, sometimes, like, unless you're like an MMA fighter or something, most of the time, like, the guy's gonna be stronger than you. And like, I hate to say that and I hate to admit that, but like, if like, it's just testosterone, it's your biology. So Like, I hope I didn't offend anybody. I'm sure there's some social justice warriors that watch my videos and now they just got extremely triggered because they're like, how dare you say that men are stronger than women? I didn't say they were stronger than women, but physically sometimes, like, most of the time, like, a man can really hold you down. Like, you know what I mean? Just, like, I don't want to, like, end up in that weird situation. So my friend fucking pulls up at the right time and I was like, there's my friend, I need to get out. And he was like, give me your number. So I literally wrote, like, a bogus number on a paper because I have, like, on my phone, like, I'm such a fucking sus-ass bitch. Like, if you ask me for my number, 9 times out of 10, I'm not giving you my real number. I have 3 different phone numbers, and I have one for my family and business, one for, like, people that I'm, like, getting to know, and one for people that I just met and I don't feel like giving you my Snapchat or my actual other 2 numbers. So I gave him that, like, 3rd fake number, and when I tell you guys, he keeps calling me, like, 2 times a day, and it's from, like, an unknown number. Like, it's, like, I feel like he tried to, like, block his number. Like, why are you trying to hide, sir? I remember telling him as I, like, got out of the car, I was like, by the way, like, this whole sugar baby thing that you were talking about, and then you're mentioning, like, hairy vaginas and all that, that's prostitution, by the way. Like, you can get in a lot of trouble for that. And I'm not gonna, like, sit here and, like, let you talk to me this way. And then, like, first of all, sir, you just told me, I told him this, I was like, you just told me you were a police officer, and now you're in the car telling me that, like, you want to give me money, and then I can't have a hairy vagina, so basically that means that we're gonna be sleeping together and all that stuff, and then you told me you were gay, so this makes no fucking sense, but I'm leaving now. And he's like, okay, you can get out. And he, like, unlocks the door, and I got out, and he zoomed off, and my friend gets out of the car, and is just like, what were you doing in there? They literally thought that I was, like, doing some nasty shit in that car, and I was like, first of all, I'm not like that. Like, I'm not a fucking prostitute. Yeah, that's basically what happened this past Friday. It was extremely uncomfortable, super weird. The second I got in my house, I was like, Zach, oh my fucking goodness, what the fuck? Like, Zach this whole time thought I was fine because me and Zach have our locations on. There's a thing called Find My Friends on the iPhone. Or you could just do, like, share my location forever. So, like, I always know where Zach is at. He knows where I'm at. Yeah, we have those, like, options set for each other. So this whole time, like, Zach thinks I, like, made it home safely or whatever. But in reality, I'm still stuck in this Uber driver's car and I'm trying to, like, get inside my house. Also, my phone was, like, dying that night, you guys. Like, I remember, like, I was like, Zach, do you have your portable charger? Like, the second I got to his house when we were gonna go to the mall and go and eat, my phone was on 10%. And I was like, do you have your portable charger? And he couldn't find it. And once he found it, it was dead. And we got in the Uber, and the Uber didn't have a fucking, like, iPhone charger. So my phone is over here dying the whole time. That, like, definitely makes me not want to, like, go out now even more. Like, unless I feel like unless I decide to, like, drive there and just be the designated driver, then maybe. But, like, that whole situation just, like, made me, like, pissed off, and it made me, like, not want to take Ubers, you know? But Uber is such a good concept, though, because, like, if you don't have a car, if you're in, like, Miami or something, you don't have a car, or I'm in LA doing something, I need Uber. Like, I need the app. But, like, here in Arizona, like, people are fucking weird. Oh my gosh. And I was on live telling this story yesterday a little bit, and people were like, girl, like, Arizona Ubers are always so sus. They're always so weird. So, like, I'm just gonna keep driving myself around everywhere that I usually do, because that's why I have a car. So I guess my whole point of this saying is, like, you need to be careful, and like I said, you need to realize that, like, yes, it is an Uber and they are doing their job, and I'm sure Uber is background checking these people, but I'm also pretty sure they're not fully background checking these people, because I don't know, I've gotten some really, like, weird Ubers, especially when I lived in LA. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in any other story times I have to tell, make sure you go and check those out, or you subscribe to my channel and leave a like. Have you ever had a weird Uber incident or situation, excuse me? Feel free to leave that in the comments below, because I love to read your comments. Yeah, I'm giving away a Louis Vuitton bag. I think it's gonna be in my next video. I already have it filmed and edited for you guys and everything, but I think it's gonna be my next video. I'm giving away a Louis Vuitton bag, so make sure you guys giving away a Louis Vuitton bag, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that, because it's so cute. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be safe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.